Today I'm going to be giving you guys my review of Alpha Omega, and going into this map I was feeling both really excited and also very cautious, and the reason for being excited was for the storyline. I mean, Ether storyline returning, I mean, what could be more hype than that? So maybe a couple things for other people, but not for me. This is one of the coolest things for me, at least in video games. But regardless, the thing I was kind of cautious about was the gameplay, because we were getting another reimagine, which was quite unfortunate, and I'm not going to go into that in this video because I've kind of gone into that in a couple different videos in the past, so I'm not going to talk about that. But with that said, I do want to share with you guys in this review, like, did this map live up to my expectations, or did it fall below them, or maybe did it exceed them? I don't know. We'll find out throughout this video. Now, for the people new to my reviews, I do want to quickly explain how I do reviews. I normally break the maps down into different aspects of them, and then I talk about those aspects and tell you what I think about them, and finally, I'll give a verdict at the end. And this time around, I'm going to be adding one more, and this one's unique to this map because it's a reimagine. And what this is like, did the map change enough from the original map? Because you don't want to have pretty much the same map, kind of like you did with Blood of the Dead. Just to quickly say what I'm going to be going over, all the different aspects, 7 in total. The first one, like I said, is did it change enough from the original? After that, I'm going to be talking about the setup, then the map flow, aesthetic, wonder weapons, Easter eggs, and finally story. So, going to be going through all of that, and we'll first start off right now with did it change enough? So when I play this map, and I think when most people play this map, nobody feels like they're playing Nuketown Zombies, and that's always a good thing, especially when you don't want to feel like you're playing Nuketown Zombies when you get into a map that's supposed to be brand new, and I think that's a good thing. But I don't know if the reason it feels like not Nuketown is because Treyarch changed it a lot to make it feel like an original map, or because of the fact there wasn't much to like really copy in the first place. I mean, Nuketown was as bare bones as it gets, so maybe, I mean, that's kind of the reason why they couldn't copy too much. I just think maybe that's the case, and that's the reason why it doesn't feel like Nuketown. Now, as for if it looks like Nuketown, I'll get to that when I get to aesthetic, but from at least a gameplay and just a feel from the game, I don't personally feel like it feels like Nuketown, and I feel like they did enough to make it, you know, different from the original Nuketown map and to make it feel like its own Alpha Omega. But of course, we'll be moving on to the next one. This is setup. Now, for what setup is, quickly, it's where you get power, perks, guns, and pack-a-punch. Those are the main things for setup, because those are what you're going to use every single game you play zombies. And we're not going to be talking about guns and perks because those really have never been an issue, and they've always been, you know, as simple as it gets to get them. What we are going to talk about is actually power and pack-a-punch, because these kind of don't always, you know, aren't always exactly easy to do. And let's first start off with power. So power, I'm glad to say, super easy. It takes 4 doors, and you flip a switch, and then powers on. Amazing stuff. You love to see it. After that, we have Pack-a-Punch, and Pack-a-Punch is a little bit more as expected, but all you have to do after opening power is actually just open 3 more doors, and then you'll get to generators, and then you have to do a little lockdown for about a minute. Then you have to clean up 4 different vents up top on the map, which I feel like is pretty easy, and personally, I feel like this setup does everything you want in a setup. I mean, the 3 main things I feel like every setup needs to be is easy, simple, and discoverable, and I think it's all of those. It's easy enough, I think everybody could agree with that. It's simple enough, and I think most people who want to discover how to do all this stuff on their own, they can, unless you're a little incompetent or you're very new to zombies. Regardless, I feel like for most people, this map falls into all 3 categories of what you want in your setup to be: simple, easy, and discoverable, and that's why I like it in a setup, so I would say the setup is very solid. Next thing I want to talk about is map flow, and this is a little confusing for me because I don't really know, because I feel like I know how the map works. In fact, I've done a breakdown of the entire map and how you get around the map. I actually made a video on it. If you guys want to check it out, it'll be hopefully on screen and down in the description. But regardless, like, I get how this map works. I get how the bunker systems work. I mean, obviously, the 6 houses on top, you figure that out, and then you have bunkers between transfusion and APD taking you down solitary, and then you have back in the control house, you have another bunker which will take you down to storage. Then you go to the greenhouse backyard, that'll take you a bunker down the diner. Then if you go to the Yellow House backyard, that'll take you down to Lounge. So I get how this map works, but for some reason, I find myself getting lost for no reason at all. And I can't figure out if that's a map flows problem or just my problem at, for some reason, being incompetent at this map. I just can't figure it out, and because of that, I really can't criticize the map flow because I don't really find a problem with it, but at the same time, I can't find anything great about the map flow. So that's why I just feel like the map flow is just fine. I mean, it's good but not great. It's good but not bad. You know how that feeling is? That's kind of how I feel about map flow. So that's really all I could say about it and how I personally feel about the map flow. After that, I want to get into the aesthetic, and this is interesting because the aesthetic obviously is heavily influenced off of Nuketown, and because of that, I feel like this map, it really isn't anything special aesthetically. I mean, it's kind of exactly how I feel about map flow. Like, there's nothing bad about the aesthetic of the map. There's nothing ugly about this map. The bunkers look like bunkers, the outside looks like Nuketown, and I mean, that's just kind of how it's supposed to look, and I get that, but I mean, it's kind of a, like, annoyance, I guess you could say, when, you know, we've seen Nuketown in every single Treyarch game since Black Ops, so, you know, you kind of know how Nuketown looks already, even if they change the aesthetic slightly, so, you know, that's kind of the problem with the aesthetic for me, is just the fact that it's a reimagine, that it's not anything special or anything we haven't seen before, so, and that's kind of my problem with the aesthetic. It just feels like it's nothing special, it's just good, it's just fine. Anyways, moving on to Wonder Weapons. So, there's actually, I guess, 5 different Wonder Weapons. There's the original Ray Gun Mark II, and then we have 4 different variants. Now, the original Ray Gun Mark II is great, and probably still the best ray gun, but regardless, I want to touch on all 4 of the other ones real quickly. So, first we have the Ray Gun Mark II V, which is the infinite ammo one, which recharges all by itself. This one, I personally feel like it should be a little bit stronger on low rounds, and I just feel like it's a little weak for it. I mean, I get it's an infinite ammo gun, but at the same time, I feel like it needs to be a little bit stronger, especially on lower rounds. But then again, I also understand it's a balancing act when you have an infinite ammo gun. After that, we have the Ray Gun Mark II X, which is a full auto. And this one's good until it runs out of ammo incredibly quick. I don't know if I just don't know how to hit zombies, but I feel like I'm always running out of ammo with this gun. And I don't know. I mean, it looks really cool, especially when you pack punch it, it becomes dual wield. But for some reason, I feel like I'm always running out of ammo with it. And maybe they could adjust that, especially if it's being full auto and being a little bit weaker. I mean, I would say that this is probably the best one if it was just have more ammo, because like the only problem I have with it is that it runs out of ammo way too quick. But the Ray Gun Mark II Y, it's kind of a problem for me because I did use it a bunch of times, and of course this is the launcher one, which kind of shoots in the grenade explosion type of deal thing. But the problem for me is that I wasn't aware you could actually charge shoot the launcher one or the Y, so I don't know how good that is, but all I know is when you're not shooting charge shots, it's garbage. You can't hit zombies if you're pointing at them. I mean, if you don't believe me, I have a video of going through gameplay of every single one of these ray guns, and it'll be on screen right now if you guys want to check it out, and also down in the description. But it was just such an annoyance to try to hit zombies, but maybe that's because you're supposed to be using charge shots, but I don't know. But from my experience with it, it wasn't that great. And then finally, we have the Ray Gun Mark II Z, which is kind of like a shotgun ray gun, which is good, I guess. It's probably the best one out of the new ones, and I mean, nothing really crazy, but it's probably the best one out of the new ones. But really, if I'm being honest here, out of all these ray guns, probably the original Ray Gun Mark II is still the best one, which is really underwhelming for me, and I really wanted these to be better, and unfortunately, that's not what it seems like we got. Just all of these aren't nearly as good as the original one, if you personally ask me, so it is what it is, but you know, that's kind of unfortunate. But regardless, moving on to Easter eggs, and this is probably the highlight of the map. I absolutely love the Easter eggs in this map, and what I'm talking about is both the main Easter egg and especially the side Easter eggs. Now, we'll get into the main Easter egg in a second, but I first want to talk about the side Easter egg because these are so cool. Like, the first one I want to talk about is the Easter egg where you could skip to round 200. I mean, you skip to round 200 and it'll give you the original layout to Nuketown, which is just amazing, and I love that Easter egg so much. It's so cool. It's a thing of beauty. I just love side Easter eggs like that. Just skip you to round 200. Oh my gosh, it is just so amazing. After that, there's another Easter egg that'll give you a free perk, which is by shooting all 30 of the mannequins' heads off throughout the map. And then after that, I guess kind of a continuation of the free perk one is that there's a way to get a free self-revive by after doing the free perk step is by using an immortal mannequin, which you have to take it down to another mannequin, and then you have to bring it up to a shed, which then gives you a free self-revive, which is really cool. So, you know, I really like that one. And then there's the codes, and oh my gosh, the codes are so cool. And there's at least 40 plus different codes you could put into Rushmore. There's a lot of them that are story related. There's some that are just gameplay related, but I want to share with you guys some of my favorite ones because these ones are so cool and are really help you do a lot of things. So first one I want to talk about is a free door. It'll give you a free door throughout the map, which is cool. There's also one to open the shed for free. Of course, the shed that gives you a free power up. That one is also a thing. So, you know, if you don't want to spend $3,000 on the door, you can put shed and then it'll give you the shed door for free. There's also 2 ways to get a free undead man. You can put in easy or noob and it'll give you a free 5-minute undead man, which is so nice with the Easter egg, the main Easter egg. So I'll get to that in a little bit though, but it's really cool. Also, you can get the brew, soda, and cola perk half off if you just put in brew, soda, or cola, which is again really cool. After that, you could actually put bank, which will give you free 1,000 points for everybody in the game, I believe. And then final one I want to say is when you put in pack, which gives you a free bonfire cell, which is amazing. And I just love these kind of Easter eggs. It just really helps you optimize it when you're playing and just makes it so much cooler if you know these side Easter eggs. And I'm sure there's more side Easter eggs I missed and there's more to be discovered, but these ones are among my favorite and I absolutely love them. But we also have to talk about the main Easter egg. So the main Easter egg, if you had to give it a criticism, is that it's too easy, because I can't think of another criticism besides that, because I personally have a lot of fun doing it. I think it's nice for co-op and solo. I feel like it's a bit better on co-op because it's a little bit more difficult, but regardless, it's still a really solid Easter egg. And I mean, if you're using some of the side Easter eggs like the free undead mans, it really helps with the only step that may be a problem. Like if you don't want to do the escort step with zombies all down your back, just go ahead and put the free undead man in Rushmore, and then you don't have to worry about that, and you could easily just go ahead and do the escort step when you have undead man activated for 5 minutes. So there's really not a bad step in here, especially if you're optimizing it alongside some of the side Easter eggs, especially the Rushmore codes. Those things make this Easter egg even easier, and I really do like it. But regardless, I feel like the Easter eggs in this map are the highlight of this map, and I just think they're just so cool. But going into our final aspect or subject, whatever you want to call it, but this is the storyline. So the storyline in Alpha and Omega is actually quite interesting because there's quite a lot of it, and I think the most obvious thing is that we have 8 playable characters. You could rather play as Ultimus or Primus, and they all have their own set of quotes, which is amazing. Just so much story there on its own, which, by the way, there'll be a certain quote video going up hopefully within the next few days. Hopefully, I mean, that thing's going to be a pain to get, but I'm going to get it, so that's going to be its thing, and expect that. But on top of that, you have 4 punch cards where you get audio from all of them. You get 3 MP3 players where you hear Rustman. You get 5 audio reels where you just hear about Purnell and, of course, Yuri. You also have 7 radios throughout the map. 2 of them are related to Purnell, and the other ones are related to Maxis. Also, you could go hold square on the door where you'll hear Marlton, which is absolutely amazing. You get a ton of quotes from them. And also, during the main Easter egg, you get, obviously, the ending cutscene, but on top of that, you get to see Peter McCain return, which I'm not going to say what happens in either of those because don't want to really spread too many spoilers, but I'm sure everyone knows. But regardless, just going to stay away from it for now. But it's true that there's a lot of quantity, but how about quality? Well, for me personally, and after listening to all of this, I feel like the quality is really good. I mean, all of these storyline things they added in were for a reason, like the MP3 players with Rustman, important to understanding what he was doing with Broken Arrow, because we've known he was a part of Broken Arrow. I mean, Marlton explaining why he was in Nuketown when we saw him with Nuketown zombies. The punch cards explaining what happened to Peter McCain. The audio reels explaining what they're even doing here at Camp Edwards, or I guess Nuketown, whatever you want to call it. And then the Maxis radios explaining how Maxis is kind of figuring out all of the stuff that's going on with Dr. Monty. And there's just so much that I just love about it, and I just really like the storyline, and it's another highlight of the map. But really, that's all I got to say about this map, and that's kind of almost where my review ends, because there's something we got to talk about, and that's the verdict, or what I would rate this map. And I gotta say, I do like a lot of this map. I mean, like, how they changed the map, did they change it enough? I think they did. Well, because there wasn't much to change. The setup, it's solid. The map flow is okay. I mean, fine. It's nothing special. The aesthetic is okay. Wonder weapons, underwhelming. Easter eggs, amazing. Storyline, amazing. And with all that said, I have to say, I'd probably give this map a 7 out of 10. I mean, I would like to give it an 8, but the wonder weapons, the being a reimagine, and all that kind of really holds it back, which is really unfortunate. And I feel like the map could have been a little bit bigger also. So, you know, I just feel like in that area is where the best it is. Like, a 7 is probably the best place to rank this map. But anyways, that's all I gotta say. Tell me what you guys think about the map. Do you guys agree or disagree with me? Do you guys like it or not? Do you guys not like the map? I'd love to hear all your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. But anyways, if you guys did enjoy this video and you want to see more stuff like this, then go ahead, do all the normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, bell, share, and all that great stuff. But I'm going to go, and I'll catch you guys next stream, video, or whatever it may be. But later, guys.